beginning I always start with a sketch. And as you can already see, I'm not the best at drawing hands, and this is kind of messed up and I don't even know what this is. So let's fix it up in Photoshop. In Photoshop you can just grab stuff and move it around and make mistakes and draw over everything again, so yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And the red lines also help me keep track of the volume that the characters are occupying. In this step I'm also adding the annoying cat that we found and the fat owl. Once I'm happy with the sketch, I make a more detailed version in black, which is going to be a bit more cleaner and help me with the coloring later. But as you can see, this is still a sketch and I'm not gonna do clean line work for this one, since I'm basically gonna paint all of it and just going to paint over the line work. So the next step I'm doing here is just laying the skin tones down, and the reason I'm doing this first is so I can take the faces of the characters and practice the rendering style. So I wanted to go for a more 3D look than I usually do, I'd say. So yeah, this is just me trying to make a face happen on the character. And trying to get the eyeballs right, and then trying to transfer this style to the cat, the owl and the other character, just to see if it works. As soon as I know that everything works the way I want it to work, I start just laying colors down for all of the parts. As you can see here on the right, I'm doing a Photoshop layer for every piece of clothing for the animals. You'll later see me do one for the grass. And this just helps me mask off, like masking tape when you paint. Yeah, this just helps me mask off the areas, so I just have the forms, and as you can see right now, I can just take a big brush and just lay in the shadows. Since it's often really hard to estimate what your final picture will look like without a background, at this point I had to add one. Yeah, just to find out how the forms and the colors read in contrast to the background, because it always looks different if you just have it on a white piece of paper. And yeah, now in contrast with the blue, I realized that the faces look kind of flat, so I went back in there and started detailing them, and I also added some more contrast. Oh yeah, and I forgot the hammer. Boop! That's fixed. So yeah, this is the point where I wasn't recording for a while. So I started rendering, I went into every little detail and just started giving it light and shadow. I just stopped recording the boring part and we'll just jump back in when I have the most boring stuff already blocked in with light and color. As you can see, I still have everything on one layer, have it organized, and I basically have a layer for every part, and what I'm doing now is just taking everything and collapsing it on one layer. This is mainly because I wanted to make a big change to this image, which is the legs. So this is part 2 or evening 2 of working on this painting, and I didn't like the legs at all, so I just went in there, I collapsed everything, and I just said, okay, I'm just gonna paint over that. And if you're gonna take away one lesson from this video because you're like, I already know how to draw, like I can draw characters better than you, then good for you. But take the lesson away that never be afraid to just change stuff in your painting if it makes for a better image. Never be so attached to one detail that you're like, I'm not gonna change that. So yeah, just if it makes for a better painting, then just go over it. Then it's an even better painting than it was painted before. Right now I'm fixing up the legs just to make for a better composition, and yeah, to just make them more 3D because the first ones were really flat. The downside of not having everything masked off like I had in the beginning is that I now have to hand select or take the lasso tool to not paint over things, so I won't have as clean of an edge, but that's something I'm willing to sacrifice at this point. So yeah, the last step I often do to push my colors is to use gradients. So what the gradients do is they take the image in black and white, and you can assign a color for every grayscale. And I just sprinkle some of the color in there. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and thanks again to the Portal Knights development team and also to the composer of the Portal Knights soundtrack who let me use the original soundtrack from the game for this video. I'm also gonna put all these guys' links down below, so definitely go check out their game, check out their Twitter. This is not like a sponsored promotion, I just really love the game, and they also feature a lot of fan creations on their Twitter page. So yeah, even if you didn't like this video, maybe you found a new favorite game.